Voters in Alabama heading to the polls, and we are now just hours away from finding out who will win one of the most controversial and unpredictable Senate races in recent memory. In his election eve speech, Roy Moore once again said the sexual misconduct allegations against him are nothing more than an outside effort to tarnish him unfairly. Joining me now from Huntsville, Alabama, is Pastor Mike Allison, who has known Roy Moore for 20 years. Pastor, thank you for being here. We appreciate it. So let's just talk about it, because there are now at least 9 women who say that Roy Moore has engaged in inappropriate sexual misconduct with them. I know you don't believe them, but do you believe all 9 are lying?
Well, I don't even know these women. I've never made any charges against the women at all. I've known Judge Moore, and not only myself, but there are a lot of people in Alabama who don't believe that he's done anything wrong.
Yeah, but that doesn't answer the question. Either he has or he hasn't. And if the 9 women, if you reject their testimonials, then are you saying they are lying?
Well, I'm going to say this. I'm not going to judge somebody being guilty because of an accusation. If that be the case, then nobody's free from anything. We're talking about an inquisition then. We do have laws in this land, and people are supposed to be innocent until proven guilty.
But that's in a court of law, and the statute of limitations on these alleged crimes has long since run, as you know. And when we go to the ballot box to elect someone or not, we do not have to have things proven to us beyond a reasonable doubt. We just need to have an understanding and a belief of what we think happened.
Well, as I said, I've known the judge for a long time. He has proven himself to be a man of character. And I personally do not believe that he's done these things. So these things are reprehensible.
But what have you done to satisfy
wrong,
yourself of
bad.
that?
If they're true, I'm sorry?
What have you done to satisfy yourself that it's not true? Because if Roy Moore wants to go to the U.S. Senate and he has a history of assaulting 14 and 16-year-old girls, it's a problem.
Well, if that is what he has done, then yes, that would be a problem. But I am not convinced that he has done those things, and I'm not going to just jump on the media bandwagon, because all of this stuff has come about at an interesting time. He's run 5 statewide campaigns, plenty of opportunity for things to come out. Never has anything ever come out against him along those lines until just 5 weeks before a major campaign like this that has national implications.
But you understand the larger context of what's happening
personally
in the country right now, Pastor. Do you understand the Me Too movement has come alive in a way women have never seen or even thought possible prior to this fall?
Well, I understand they have, but let me say this. I'm not a news hound. I don't stay chained to the news. I don't watch a lot of news. I've got other things that are more important for me to do as a pastor.
Well, you should, because 9 women have come out accusing him of misconduct, including assault at age 14. And their stories have been backed up by witnesses who say they told them the stories at the time. And these women have given repeated interviews, unlike Roy Moore, who's given 2.
Well, let me say that a few of the things have been debunked already. I know,
Like
for
what?
instance, the story that had to do with the yearbook. Even the person that did the yearbook came out and said that they had doctored the yearbook signature that was there.
Not true. She admitted to adding a date and place at the end of the what she says is the actual Roy Moore signature in her yearbook.
Well, in one story that I did read, it had to do with a stepson that came out and said it was all lies.
And then there's a sister who says that they aren't.
The thing is, I'm not God. I was not there.
I know, but aren't you worried at all about the teenage girls in the D.C. area if it is true?
No, I'm not worried about the teenage girls in the D.C. area because of Roy Moore. There's absolutely no record of him carrying on like this at all. And these allegations, from what I understand, are all 30 and 40 years of age. And I believe if he was that type of an individual, there would be a long string of this stuff going on. Mm-hmm. And it hasn't happened.
Can I ask you about some other hot water that Kayla Moore and Roy Moore got in yesterday when Kayla Moore, his wife, made this comment publicly about a charge that had been made that they may be anti-Semitic. Here's Kayla Moore, his wife. Listen.
Fake news would tell you that we don't care for Jews. I tell you all this because I've seen it all, so I just want to set the record straight while they're here. One of our attorneys is a Jew.
I mean, I ask you, Pastor, as a man who purports to be of the cloth, does that sound anti-Semitic to you, what she just said there?
I don't believe they're anti-Semitic at all. He made a comment the other day about George Soros. And when he made his comment about George Soros, immediately somebody put in a headline that he was anti-Semitic because evidently George Soros is a Jew. I didn't know that, but evidently that was the basis upon that.
Well,
but
he also suggested that if you don't believe in Christ
about
and God,
Roy
that you're
Moore.
going to hell, which is part of what fueled that fire. But that comment referring to we're not anti-Semitic because our lawyer is a Jew has been upsetting and offensive to a lot of people. You understand that?
Well, people, I've learned this over the years. People that want to be offended will be offended at anything. No matter how you intended it, no matter what you meant to say, people looking to take offense will take offense.
Mm-hmm. And so what's your prediction for what's going to happen today at the polls?
Well, obviously, I'd like to see Judge Moore win.
And what's the inside scoop on that? Do you predict he will?
Well, I've heard polls that said he's behind, and I've heard polls that says he's ahead. I know in Alabama, he's very, very popular. He's been around a long time. He's taken a good conservative stand on a number of things. I think that his values, what he stands for, is a lot closer to Alabamians than his opponent.
All right, Pastor. Thank you for being here. You're a stand-up guy for coming on. All the best.
All right, thank you.
Hello, Today fans. Thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Subscribe by clicking that button down there and click on any of the videos over here to watch the latest interviews, show highlights, and digital exclusives.